Hello everyone and welcome back to another video. In this video, I'll try to explain the types of data because when I was doing research, I felt that this was quite complex and it was really difficult when I was doing in SPSS. I was filling in the data, so the terms there were quite confusing when it said that it's a numerical, categorical, ordinal, and I was literally confused that what are these all terms are. So in this slide, I'll try to explain it as simply as possible so that you do not have any such problems. So now the broad categories of data are two types, right? One type is called quantitative data and the other one is called qualitative data. Now these two categories are sometimes called with different names and we usually confuse them. So if you hear something like numerical data or measurement data, so they all are the same as quantitative data, whereas categorical data or qualitative data is the same one. So quantitative is the term shows that it has a quantity, right? So this type of research in which you use the statistical softwares uh, to analyze the data like SPSS, R, and MOS, different kind of softwares to analyze the data. Those are basically the quantitative study. In qualitative study, the number crunching is not quite a lot, right? So there one is. Now, if you go into further subcategories, the categorical data, which has the categories or the qualitative data, in which there are the words more, there are more words than the numbers, right? So those can be categorized into nominal data and ordinal data. So ordinal data is the data in which order matters, right? And in nominal kind of data, the order does not matter. So it doesn't matter whether you put them in what type of variable you put it first. It doesn't matter. For example, if you have male or females, right? So it doesn't matter if you ask someone, are you a male or female? So this type order does not matter. Whereas in ordinal data, for example, if you ask someone to grade something at a scale from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So at a scale of 1 to 5, if someone is grading in a survey, then that is ordinal data. Because if someone says that I like it the most, then he will scale it as 1. So number 1 is the best and number 5 is the worst. So here, if someone says whether 1, 2, 3, 4, so the order of their response matters. So ordinal data and nominal data. In nominal data, maybe if someone says yes or no, right? So or if there are any colors they have to choose between them, so that kind of data. So both ordinal data and nominal data, they can be binary and non-binary. So binary means they have only two options, right? And non-binary means they have more than two options. So that can be in with both of them, more than two options. So if it's like male or female, yes or no, that can be a binary. But non-binary can be if there are more than two options. For example, if you ask someone that what color of clothes do you like, and then you have red, brown, black, right? So there are so many options. The options are more than two, but still the order does not matter because they are nominal. Okay. In ordinal, also they can have, binary or non-binary. So binary means you interpret data in yes or no or one or two, right? So you said that one is best and two is worst, right? So you just interpret the data in just two, binary or non-binary, it can have more options, right? So now the categorical data or qualitative data distributed into nominal and ordinal, and both nominal and ordinal can have binary and non-binary. So far so good. Now we are clear about this one. So the other kind of data, which is sometimes called the measurement data or numerical data in SPSS, you have this numerical figure, this numerical option there when you want to fill in the data. So it has further two categories. The number one is discrete and the other one is continuous, right? So the discrete one is the one in which the data is in a whole number. Okay, it is a whole number data. And this continuous is something like which is the data is in decimals, right? So there are no gaps between the data. And in a whole number, there is always a gap, right? There's always a gap between the numbers, so it is not a continuous. Whereas the continuous, another one is like it's a measurement. It's usually a measurement. So if you ask someone that how much is your height, so you can measure that height with a tape and say that 5 feet 7 inches, right? So this is in a decimal place, and it can have 5.7 or 5.723 like this, but this has to be a whole number. Okay, discrete means it should have something, a whole number. So this is the basically a difference, right, between a continuous data and uh, the whole the discrete data. So the numerical ones is a quantitative and the other one is qualitative. Okay, so now sometimes this ordinal data is also considered as quantitative, right? So because it has a kind of numbers, right? So how much you have, one, two, three, four, five. Okay, so but sometimes this can be it people do think that this is a quantitative as well, but when you categorize them, so if it is ordinal, so you should consider this as a categorical, where you give them options from 1 to 3 4 5, or sometimes you give them as a good, best, or in it times you said sometimes them you response them, right? Agree on a scale from agree to disagree, and in between you sometimes say that neutral, strongly agree, strongly disagree. So they all are categoricals, they have a categories, right? So they can be categorical. You can give them 1 to 3 names, or you can give them the words as well. So categorical is basically, as I said, that they are the words. So those words sometimes you can give them the numbers. So for example, this agree, disagree on a scale. So there is a scale, you can give them a number as well. So because of this number, sometimes people think that that is a quantitative data. So we will see some of the here a bit more details or the definitions. A type of categorical data in which objects fall into unordered categories, right? So hair color, race, right? So this is all categorical. Both the discrete and continuous are numerical data. Numerical or measurement or quantitative. So this is a quantitative data. So it has two types, discrete and continuous. Usually occurs in a case where there are only a certain number of values or when counting something using a whole number is possible, right? And continuous data makes up the rest of the numerical data. This is the type of data that is usually associated with some sort of physical measurements like height, how much is your weight, or that kind of things. We'll see further examples as well. Now you see, check for discrete or continuous. Your phone number. If you have to give someone your phone number, can you give your phone number in decimals? That 23456.87. Can this be a phone number? No, it cannot be. It has to be a whole number, right? So this one is discrete. Height of a tree. Now, height of a tree you can measure, right, with an inch tape, and you can say that 176 feet and some inches, right? So, whatever it is, maybe a tree cannot be that tall, right? It's just an imaginary number. So, this one is continuous. ID number. Can you give your ID number in decimals? No, you cannot. So this one is discrete. Length of a skirt. Of course, you can measure the length of a skirt. So that has to be continuous. The number of goals scored by hockey team. So the goals which they can score is a discrete number because it cannot be it should be a number, right? So it should be a number, not a decimal. It should be a whole number. The number of subjects your school offers. Can your school offer 2.3 subjects? It can be either chemistry or math or physics or whatever. So it has to be a discrete number, right? And your shoe size, it has to be a measurement data in which it can be maybe 23.4 millimeter or centimeter or whatever it is, right? So it's continuous. So now I hope you are quite clear that how to classify data. Classify each set of data is discrete or continuous. The number of suitcases lost by an airline. So here is a number of suitcases, right? So of course it's not continuous. The height of corn plants. See, height is a measurement. And then the distance of your house to this place. Distance is also a measurement. Okay, the number of green M&Ms in a bag, so it is a number. And the time it takes for a car battery to die, so time is also a measurement, so it is also a continuous. And the production of tomatoes by weight. Okay, the production of tomatoes by weight. So if there is a weight, weight is a measurement. If there's a number of potatoes or tomatoes, right? So if there's a number, just remember you can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, or 100,000. That can be a discrete number. So I think we have made it quite clear about the type of data. So I think that should be enough. And so now we are clear that two types of data. One is qualitative and the other one is quantitative. And the quantitative is discrete and continuous. Qualitative is it is also called categorical, which is nominal and ordinal. nominal and ordinal, and the ordinal is the one in which order matters, and nominal is the one in which order does not matter. Okay, and they both are binary and non-binary. So this was just a brief introduction about the data. Thank you very much for watching this, and if you think that it's helpful, please do subscribe and like this button.